Welcome in, folks. Good morning. I'm Matt Hildebrand, your host for our final Senior Salute show here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. Joining us today, we have Fayetteville High School in, and that's kind of a unique situation. All the classes that we've interviewed, you guys are the first ones who have actually already graduated, like capped off everything. So we'll have a little bit of a different conversation from what we've had with the other kids. So we're going to start, Caroline, with you and work down the line. Let everybody introduce themselves and tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Caroline Hansel. I was a senior at Fayetteville Perry.
Now it's a was.
Yeah. I was in cheer, track, band. I was drum major in band.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Pretty legit then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Lily.
My name is Lily Kaufman, and I played soccer and basketball for 4 years each. I was in National Honor Society. I was the class president, and I did do band for 2 years. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
2.5. Well, that sounds like there's a story there. I'm sure. Good deal. Next up, we have Riley.
I'm Riley Kleinmeyer, and I played varsity soccer, basketball, and softball for 4 years. I was part of the NHS, and I was class vice president.
Does it feel weird to say was?
Yes.
Already? Yeah, man. Next up, we have Kaya.
I'm Kaya Mitchell. I was part of the drama club, mock trial, academic team, science club, art club, just like all of the academic extracurriculars.
All the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I do apologize, Kaya Mitchell. Very good. And last but not least, we have April Flowers.
I'm April Flowers, and I'm the high school principal, and this is my first year here with these guys. So
yeah, fantastic. So first year, this group didn't give you too much stress then.
Absolutely not. No, they were a great first group. They were the smallest group that Fayetteville has had in a long time, so there's only 43 of them. So
wow.
Yeah, for the first year, they were great.
That is a really small group for Fayetteville.
It was. So. Yeah, it was a really, So they were a really close group of kids going through, and they had been the smallest class all the way through kindergarten and on up. They had been small. So, yeah, it was a good first group to get in there on.
Fantastic. Well, to kind of broad question here, how did that guys affect you being in a small group? I mean, 43 people. If I sat down your senior class photo in front of you, could all of you list off everybody's first and last name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First and last name, probably every sibling.
And middle.
Siblings, yeah.
And middle.
Parents.
They could probably do that, though, for the entire building in the high school.
Almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Most of the middle school.
I mean, I lose some of those freshman names. I know faces, but not names sometimes. But
That is honestly really impressive. I could not have done that with my senior
Yeah.
class. Good on you guys. What about being in a smaller school and a smaller class kind of affected and changed your high school career versus being in a larger school where, you might see 100, 200, 300 students in that senior class? Have you guys thought about that at all?
Yeah, I think there's like good and bad parts about it. I think like good things is we can all be really close. Like you have like almost a little family like within your school, but then like also it's so small, like academic like opportunities there might be less, or athletic opportunities might be less.
Sure.
But at the same time, there was still a lot of talent within our high school.
I was going to say, you say less on athletic possibilities, but Fayetteville has been traditionally a very strong school.
It'd more just be like different types of athletic like options, but I mean that just is a campus altogether.
Yeah.
That's just with the small campus.
And our graduation was only less than an hour. So
Yeah.
that was easy.
Let's just say that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Who had to give a speech during graduation? Anybody here? Yeah. Okay.
All of us.
All right. Everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
All how did that go? We'll start, Caroline, with you. Were you nervous at all?
No, I wasn't. Actually, I had to give the introduction, like the welcoming, which I was easy about, and then I got CCP valedictorian, which is the college credit valedictorian, and actually we were tied. Like I barely beat her by like decimals.
Okay, so was it pretty intense, or were you guys friendly rivalry?
Oh no, we're best friends.
We're best friends,
Okay. So it's funny.
Yeah, it was.
She started to say yes, it was. Okay, it was fine. You weren't like going in and trying to change your grades.
Oh
No.
But it did get like down to high school grades. Like
Yeah.
it was close. They had to wait until like,
It had to wait
the
so
day
long.
of.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It
really
was-
Yeah.
So with that, if you guys like, at what point in your high school career did you think I could possibly be, top of the class, maybe looking at valedictorian? Was that ever a thought?
No,
No.
not for CCP.
No?
When they
Yeah.
first told us, we were like, oh.
Yeah. We didn't
Okay.
think we were in the running because 2 people had already graduated with their associates
Yeah.
while in high school.
Oh,
So
wow.
we thought
Yeah.
it was going to be like them, but I guess they didn't take enough high school classes. I don't know
With
how.
it, and also it depends with what they got.
their GPA
Their GPA
was, yeah.
and
Sure.
CCP. So we were like,
Interesting.
pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So, but with that, I'm sure came an additional speech.
Yes.
at
Yes.
And I had to
graduation.
write that like 2 days before because we couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
Okay. So, is it going to go down in history as one of the greatest speeches of all time, or was it just?
Oh, yeah.
I would say
Yes.
so, yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't both have had the greatest speech of all time. That was competition too.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was saying hers was.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
And she'll just take it. She's fine with that. Riley, what about you? Speech at high school graduation. I mean, smaller class, so I guess you didn't have as many people as there could have been there, but largest group you've ever spoken to in front of a crowd?
Yeah, usually I'm playing out in a uniform, not talking in front of everybody, but it wasn't
Right.
too bad. I was the class salutatorian, so I was basically just giving words of encouragement for the future.
Fantastic. Was that tough to come up with? Like, these guys said they had like 2 days to write their speech. Did you at least have a little more time?
I had a little more time than that. I had like a week.
Okay, so you were good. You're on lock then. And then, Kaya, what about for you? Was that, again, large group setting? Is that something you're used to, or?
It was probably larger an audience than I usually get, but like I kind of imagined it like doing a closing for like my mock trial. You're just giving like a little speech, and it doesn't have to be very long.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was mostly thank yous, and then I had like some advice at the end.
Okay, what best piece of advice you can offer? Since again, you guys are the first ones we've talked to that have gone through this process. What's the best piece of advice you had to offer future graduates?
My biggest recommendation is try new things, like especially extracurriculars. I got involved in like a ton of them, but like you're never gonna try something and then be like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Like you only ever have like, oh man, I wish I had tried that like at least once. Like it could have been helpful.
That is really sage wisdom for a high school, well, I guess high school graduate now, but at the time, high school senior. So good on you to have that realization. Let's get to talking into some of the things you guys were involved in. Again, Caroline, we'll start with you. You seem to really key in on band. So let's talk about the Fayetteville High School Band. I do know, I have, just from being at games, pep band, you guys get kind of rowdy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So our band teacher is Miss Sinclair. She's been there for 43 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 43, 44.
That's awesome.
Band is just such an awesome, especially at Fayetteville. She built the band program, actually. Like, she started it 43 years ago, and it's just such an awesome thing to be in. Like, it's just such a home, and everyone knows everyone. Everyone gets along. Everyone loves what they do in band. It's not like anyone's forced to be there. Everyone's there because they want to be there.
Yeah. Why specifically drums? What drew you into percussion?
Well, I am a percussionist, and I also play trumpet, but drum major conducts the band.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so I'm up there,
I'm
and
sorry. That was a misunderstanding.
No,
on my part.
I don't know why it's called drum major either. It confuses everyone every time I say I'm drum major. It's like they think it's with the drums, but no. I started at trumpet I've actually played trumpet all throughout, and then I switched over to percussion for a bit because we didn't have many percussionists.
Sure.
So
I like that you corrected me. You're not a drummer. You're a percussionist.
yes.
Right. There's a difference.
Yes.
There, right? Yeah. Good. Trumpet. With being drum major, was that hard for you to give up? As something you've kind of known and grown up with?
Well, it was really just for marching band. So in the fall, when we would go out on the field, we'd do our performance, I conducted, but during the spring, we did concert season, so I still got to play my trumpet, which was a good mixture of both.
Awesome. Talk about the physical toll that marching band takes on you, because I think that is a really under talked about portion of band.
No. Well, actually, I kind of snuck my way out of that because I was in flags the first 2 years of high school.
Okay.
So, I mean, The flags, sometimes we'd just be in front. We didn't have to march very much. We just did a routine in the front. Then I think I did one flag routine where we marched around. And then my last 2 years of high school, I was drum major, so I just stood in the front and I didn't have to march.
But that's still like you got to keep a frame. You're in charge of everybody.
Yeah,
That's tough.
No, for sure. Yeah, it can be a lot, but it's always so fun, especially with band camp, like learning with everyone. I would do it whenever I can. It's awesome.
So you'd go back and do it all over again?
I would go back and do it all
just
over
for
again.
band?
Just for band, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's a big commitment. You got to do all 13 years again.
Yeah.
Okay, you do it. All right. You're a weirdo, but that's fine. Lily, we'll go to you. Obviously, you're a rather tall young lady, so it kind of makes sense you've keyed in on volleyball and basketball specifically. Of the two, did you have a favorite? Which one was better for you?
I did basketball and soccer.
Soccer, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and but it goes for the same thing, because for soccer I was the keeper, I was the goalie. Mm-hmm. So being that like tall height, I was able to like tip up higher things. You have a more of a wingspan, so you can reach more. I'd say like it started off basketball, but over the years it probably switched to soccer.
Okay. Now with that, being keeper, you still like, I think most people think of soccer as a whole lot of running. Did you still have to do that to like condition and stay in shape as the keeper?
Yeah, because like for keeper, it's definitely a different type of conditioning, because you have to be able to dive on the ground, then get up really quickly, then fall back down, then get up really quickly. So my coach would have me do these very intense like
so you have to
goalie drills.
Like burpees.
Like I would be diving and then sprinting and diving and sprinting. It was a lot, but it's my favorite thing. I love it.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That's good. Talk about the mindset that it takes to be a keeper in soccer, because you kind of always have to be on edge, right? Yeah,
it's definitely a good adrenaline rush, because it feels like you also have the whole entire team, like you're like keeping the whole entire team. It could be win or loss. It depends on you. So it's kind of hard to keep that like mindset that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like, because a lot of times you will be like, I should have got that and that. Like, I lost the game, or I could have helped win the game more, blah, blah, blah. But it also is, you have to keep that strong mindset for being able to just launch yourself on the ground.
Yeah.
And just like throw yourself at the ball. Kind of just have to like do it.
Now, how intimidating is that when you have, someone that's sprinting down the field at you with the ball, like to put your body in harm's way and potentially, get the stuffing kicked out of you?
Definitely. Yeah. To start off, if you're like, you have no experience, it's definitely probably a scary thing going into getting used to it and stuff. But once you get the correct form and foundations down to properly dive and properly like attack, then it's more fun than harm.
How much of the chemistry of the team, like you really are, you talked about it, kind of the crux of the team and being that keeper position. Talk about the chemistry between you and the defense, because you've got those folks back there to help you. But then also having to have chemistry with the offense to get them set up in the right position.
Oh yeah. My defense, like our defense was like a little family in itself, because we would have our routine, our pregame routine. We would go out, chest bump, do our little pep talk, and we have to be able to like almost read each other's minds on defense. Like, and I have to constantly be talking. So we're always talking. We're always having conversations, because I'm like, you go there, you have to go there, watch that, watch backside. But with offense, I can like see the whole field. So then I have to also be communicating to them, like, look up this way, look up this way.
Right.
And so Riley knows about that too, because she was one of our forwards. So trying to yell up the whole entire field was definitely a challenge. But yeah, it's always like, if I see something, saying it later at halftime and communicating that, it's definitely important.
Now, I have to ask, being keeper, did you ever boot the ball for a goal? Like, how far down the field did you kick it?
Not in high school.
At least an assist?
But I think we've done that before.
I think you've like fed it up to where we get a score off of it.
Yeah,
like you kick it like halfway up and we send it one more and score.
I mean, that's still pretty tough at the high school level.
Not a straight goal though.
Okay, well.
I mean, maybe in say, but definitely not in high school.
All right. Well, the competition gets a little better, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue, Riley, with soccer and then spin into a couple of other things. But just to echo some of the things we talked about, the chemistry of the team. At what point through the season do you guys, because each year you're bringing in those underclassmen, this year's a senior, at what point in the season did you feel like things were really kind of on lock, your leadership role and everybody was on the right page with each other?
The past couple of years, we haven't gotten that big of a freshman class coming in, but this year we had more freshmen come in, and it took a little bit longer to mesh together. But once we meshed together, it only took a couple weeks, and we were just reading each other's minds.
That's awesome. So what about that was your responsibility? Any at all, being, again, kind of on the offensive side, got to have everybody on the same page to be able to pass the ball efficiently?
I always worked the midfielders just to get it sent up to where we would get a hold of it, but I was usually turned around just watching what was going on until I had the chance to get the crossover.
Okay. So what's better, getting the assist or getting the score?
It depends. I like the assist more, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think many people would say that. So what is it about that that's like, ticks that box in your brain?
I just like the teamwork that goes into it. I mean, if I go all the way up there and I dribble and it goes in, like it doesn't feel the same as if your teammate fed you a good pass or I feed the good pass that scores and you celebrate it together. It's more like a teamwork kind of thing.
That's interesting. That's cool. Let's shift over softball season, right? So you guys still in? You still rolling with play right now?
Yeah, we were supposed to have a tournament game tonight. That's our first one after our bye.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
No.
Talk about the frustration and I guess fall sports. Soccer, you guys play in whatever. Unless there's lightning strikes, you're going.
Yeah.
When it comes to softball, it is a very different story. It doesn't take many drops of rain to really get the diamond unplayable.
So far this year, we haven't really been outside all that much. So I think we're 10-6 right now. And we've only had a handful of outside practices and a few games on our field.
And that's really tough.
Most of the time, it's either underwater or when we do get to practice, it's like rock hard from where the sun's been hitting it.
Right. Yeah.
So
there's no happy
middle.
medium.
Nope.
You guys had a really good run, I think last year, right? Did you make it? Or maybe the previous year. Anyways, in recent memory, you guys made it all the way to district champions and went on to the Sweet 16, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Was that, what an experience that was?
We had a whole bunch of seniors. That was our whole infield was seniors besides me. I was playing third, and we all worked together, and we were able to make plays and read each other's minds, and we just meshed well together to where everything went smooth, and we got our bats together and just went all the way until our last game where I think it was a home run for the other team that decided it.
If I remember right, that was the case. That was last year, though, right? Am I remember that right? Okay, so was it intimidating being, the one junior in a field of seniors on the infield? Because, you can't be the weak link in that.
No, that infield was like family to me. I loved the seniors that we had last year, and it's just different having a full infield this year, but we're doing really well.
That's awesome. What's tougher, softball or baseball? This is your chance to tell the guys just how difficult softball is, because that seems to be, at least with my kid, that's always a conversation.
I mean, there's different aspects that may be harder or easier, but I think overall baseball is harder.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising. I would definitely say softball is harder. You guys don't have grass to slow it down. Everything's a lot closer. The ball is just as hard, even though it's called a softball. Okay, different tact here. What's tougher, fielding or hitting in softball?
I think it just depends, because I mean everything is closer when you're fielding and everything comes off the bat quicker, but the ball is a lot bigger and it's bright yellow, not.
Well, I mean
white.
For you personally, like within the softball realm, what's tougher there?
Fielding can be a little hard depending on the team that you're on, and pitching for other teams is better. So it just depends on your competition. Most of the time, I like hitting more though. If it's in the strike zone, I'll just hit it. It's just batting practice.
Yeah, there you go. You got to score runs to win games.
Yep.
There you go. Next up, we're going to go up to Kea, and you mentioned if there was something, you pretty well did it as far as the academic field goal. So within that, can you pick a favorite, like a best group, best experience out of all the laundry list of things that you did?
I'd say definitely mock trial, because Like, it really helped me figure out what I'm doing, because I'm actually going to go to college. I'm going to be a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
So it was, like, really good practice for that. I got to be an attorney. You get to put together an argument, and you're working with a team. Because basically how it works is you get given a case, and then you have to form a team for both sides of the case. And, like, it's one team, but you have two sides. Like, they'll be competing separately. So it's fun because we get to work together and we get to, like, pick apart, like, literally everything about everything.
Yeah.
Because you get, like, a big packet of case law and then all the witness statements. So it's, like, fun. I like sitting down and, like, finding out all of the, like, small details. And, like, sometimes, like, you miss stuff, and, like, the other people who are reading for the other side will be like, oh, well, like, look at that.
Have to be extremely detail oriented.
Yes.
Yeah. What's better, if being prosecution team or being on the defense?
I don't know. It kind of depends on the case. Usually they're pretty evenly matched. I feel like this last one, like, the defense was a lot easier than the prosecution was, because it was like a freedom of speech case, and generally, whatever court that it goes to, we, like, are really heavy-handed keeping freedom of speech open. So, like, our entire packet of case law was all, there was, like, one case that, like, helped the prosecute, like, one or two that, like, because it was kind of interesting. It was kind of timely because it was about, like, an AI deepfake, like,
wow.
hypothetical.
Okay. That is very timely and kind of tough to kind of land on one side or the other. Did you prefer to have kind of that uphill climb, or did you prefer to be on the other side where it was like, you know, this is a slam dunk. This is, you know, going to be easy to kind of make our case for?
Well, originally, I was gunning for prosecution, but a lot of people, like, who were trying out this year, they wanted prosecution, and they knew, like, I would do a good job picking things apart for the defense. So I ended up actually being a defense attorney this year, and that was really fun. It was really rewarding.
Getting to see a different side of that.
Yeah.
So with that, the kind of both sides of the experience going through, eventually going to law school, is there a side that you think you'd rather land on for your, potential career?
I guess I'd go defense. Like, that's where all the money's at anyway. Like.
Good answer. Very good. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to take a quick break. That's a good place to take a break. We'll make some money ourselves. We'll be back with more as we continue our Senior Salute Show with Fayetteville High School right here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Maggulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Maggulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Maggulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Maggulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan. That's the Maggulac commitment every single day. More than a century of service. Let that sink in for a moment. For more than 100 years, since 1908, and through 4 generations of family-owned business, Georgetown Marble and Granite has stood firm in our community. They've helped thousands of families pay their respects and have memorialized so many lives gone, but not forgotten. When that difficult time comes, Georgetown Marble and Granite will be there to assist you too. Visit their location on East North Street in Georgetown or call 937-378-6314. Your Ohio Means Jobs centers in Georgetown and Winchester provide the tools you need for your job search. Eligible residents of Adams and Brown counties may qualify for additional supportive services. Visit Ohio Means Jobs online at omjadamsbrown.org to learn more. Ohio Means Jobs is a division of ABCAP. You must meet eligibility requirements. Funding provided by TANF and WIOA and is administered by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. When you're trying to find the best deal on a home or car, you shop around. When it comes to finding the best deal for insuring those things, it just makes sense to shop around too. That's why Column Insurance works as an independent agency. One agency, multiple carriers, allowing your agent to shop for the company that best fits your needs and budget. Column Insurance works with Nationwide and Nationwide Agribusiness, Travelers, Progressive, and more. Stop by Column Insurance in Georgetown to speak to their friendly agents, Jay, Carolyn, or Stacy, or call 378-6947 for a free quote today.
For hot days and cold nights, stay comfortable with Schaefer Heating and Cooling, a family-owned full-service HVAC company serving the Hillsborough area for over 37 years. Turn to us for a geothermal system, heating and cooling a home and environmentally friendly, an air purifier and cleaner, and more. Our team members are well equipped and required to complete over 200 hours minimum of training each year.
So contact Schaefer Heating and Cooling today.
C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer! Wow.
to Shack baseball.
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football.
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
To Shack volleyball.
Hatton for the kill. It's good.
Local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV. Welcome back in, folks, to our 10 a.m. community show here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. It's our final Senior Salute show. I do want to remind you, if you've missed out on any of our past shows, those are available to watch on demand. Just head to goodguysradiotv.com or the Good Guys YouTube and Facebook page. And we have, I think, did you guys cap off all of the schools in the Shack? We also had a couple of other area schools in as well. So go and check those out. We'll return to our conversation with Fayetteville High School. We talked about a lot of different sports, but did not bring up basketball, and want to return to that specifically. Riley, got to give you big props, the Shack Player of the Year this year. So talk a little about that and kind of what that means to you to cap off your high school career in that way.
It's something I worked really hard for. I like contributing to the whole team. It's not just about one player or another. It's just what you can do for the betterment of the team, whether it's rebounding and getting everyone down the floor or it's setting screens and getting everybody moving.
Prefer defense or offense? Well, is it more about being like that physical presence and, crashing the boards, or is it about going in for, the points?
I like defense. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it like the best part of the game for you?
It's just always being aware and being the one that's always there and help.
Okay.
And talking. It's my favorite part.
Now, I'm going to assume Lily was an okay teammate through the years, right?
She was our hype man.
Hype man. Okay. Lily, how does one earn the title of hype man for Fayetteville?
Well, I started varsity my freshman year, and I played varsity my sophomore year for basketball, but then I had some medical interruptions. So I was out for the rest of my sophomore year, and it was kind of like my own individual battle to climb back up.
Yeah.
To get in and play like how I was in the beginning. So kind of along the way of that long-term injury, I was sitting on the bench the whole rest of my sophomore year. So I got the title of the hype man. Yeah. I made the best of it, and so I encouraged my teammates as much as I could, and I continued that through my senior year. I still got to get in there and play some, but it wasn't the same, but I made the best of it by celebrating with my team still.
That's right. Taking the positive, right? Yeah. You guys had a really great, actually a couple of great seasons in a row. Yeah. So, Riley, for you, again, individual accomplishments aside, that is a huge, big deal. Did that mean more for you to have Shack Player of the Year, or to, make the deep tournament runs and dominate in the Shack the way you guys did?
I think the long run was more entertaining, but the Player of the Year was something I can look back on and remember everything that I've done to contribute to the team and everything, hopefully the lessons that I've taught to the team that'll help carry them next year.
That's awesome. You feel like you guys are leaving the team in a pretty good place? I
think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. Well, we're going to hold you to it. We'll see what happens. But talk about again, kind of that feeling of success and making it again, great regular season, great tournament season. At what point did you guys, maybe realize you had something special throughout this last couple of years?
I mean, since my freshman year, I recognized that we would have a good high school career within our season. I mean, I started off playing with Ann Murphy, Olivia Crawford, Cassidy Feldhouse, Faith Russello, Delaney Combs. Like that was my group of players that I was starting off with, and right away you had to snap into that varsity mindset, switch straight from middle school to varsity mindset. It's kind of difficult, but then I recognized the flow and how fast it goes, and I was like I could tell, I looked up to them. This is going to be a good group, and then we carried with that, and then the freshmen that just kept coming up, good skill, good talent, they just kept coming up, and I was like this is going to be a good set for the whole 4 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever run out of Murphys and Russellos at Fayetteville?
No.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure for the last 3 decades.
You lose one, get another.
That's right. Riley, let's talk about Coach Tori Rummel. Special person in your life, I would have to imagine. How I don't know. We talked a little about kind of the chemistry with soccer. Let's talk about the coaching chemistry that's there, because no offense is meant in this in any way, but I think that young ladies, you guys can be difficult to coach. Talk about and guys the same. There's ups and downs on both sides of that, but talk about again kind of the chemistry, the emotions that having a female coach specifically for you guys, what that's meant to you.
I mean, I started off just JV my freshman year, and then about halfway through, between the JV and varsity whiteout game, I went in and changed and got my varsity uniform. And just from there, I didn't play too much. I was just at the end of games, we were winning by a lot or losing by a lot, just depending. But then sophomore year, I just took off and never looked back.
That's a tough mindset to get through, right? Of being that kid that's going to kind of sit the bench, into being the key player for the team.
I mean, she basically just told me to break out of my shell, and once I did, I just took off.
Okay, so you owe a lot back to Coach then. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Good deal. Well, we'll move on from basketball. Again, big congrats on the season. Good luck with softball if we ever get to play again. We'll focus in on some other things. You guys just had graduation, just had prom, I assume, as well, right? So how was everybody's prom this year, senior year?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Pleased with it?
Pretty fun, yeah.
Let's talk about the dresses, the fit. Caroline, what did we go for this year?
I went green.
Green?
Green for Fayetteville.
Okay. What was the dress like? Were you able to breathe? Were you able to move?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it on sale, actually.
I always think it's fascinating. Were you specifically shopping for a sale? And is that... When you get something on sale, why do you tell people?
I don't know. I've actually gotten all my dresses on sale.
Okay.
I just find
I think that's a curious
it's a flex, because I can find things on sale very easily. Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Lily, what about for you? What was the dress like for your senior year?
I came in, I've never done this before, but I had a set mindset for the color purple.
Okay. Does that make shopping more difficult?
Yes, and I've never done it for a homecoming or a prom or anything. I just go and look and find what I like the best. But this time it was quite the difficult task. But it ended up being this iridescent background with purple flowers on it.
Okay. That's cool.
So yeah. It was pretty, not too long. Didn't step on anything. Okay. Breathable, all the above. It was good.
Those are all important things.
Yeah.
Did you get it on sale?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, well.
But I have gotten
Caroline's
a lot.
Disappointed at you.
We were together when she got hers.
Okay.
It was 3 months in advance or something crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were very, very well prepared.
But she knew it was the one.
I know.
Riley, what about for you? Was it an enjoyable experience? Was it a whole bunch of dresses to go through? What was it like?
I basically just waited until I seen one that I liked. I also got mine on sale.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to celebrate that. That's good.
It was purple, and I did end up being prom queen, so I guess it worked out.
Wow, that worked out really well for you then. Lots of extra pictures taken. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Kaya, what about for you? Prom? What would we go with?
It was blue. I kind of had a trouble deciding on a color, but it was navy blue. It was pretty.
Did you go in saying I'm going to get navy blue? Did you make yourself have to work extra?
No. I was kind of like looking at stuff and like seeing what was pretty.
Okay.
Whatever caught my eye.
You made it easy. That's good. Do you guys enjoy the process, like of getting ready to going through, or is it more of a chore?
I think it can be stressful, but it's pretty fun for girls to like just get ready. But I mean, by the time you're done eating, taking pictures of everything, you're on your way to the dance, and you're like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just ready to go home.
Like your feet hurt, your hair's like kind of frizzy.
Yeah, everything's
Dang it, all this hard work.
I know, and you're just like, let's just go home. But then it ends up being a fun night.
Okay. We'll
Some of us have to go to prom like 100,000 times.
Right. Yeah. You just on an annual basis. I didn't even ask. The teachers. That's an interesting kind of insight.
The pressure is on because you don't want to wear the same thing that you wore last year.
Sure.
So then you have this big pressure of, what am I going to wear? And this doesn't happen to men because men can wear the same thing and you wouldn't know it. So like a man could wear the same suit every year and change the $12 tie.
Yes.
But, you wouldn't know. So I'm so glad that we wear the gown at graduation because I have been at schools where like the person wears the same exact dress every year.
Yeah.
So in all the yearbook pictures, you can go back and you can say, this person wore the same dress every year at graduation because it was like the school color or whatever. So there's no pressure to wear that at graduation at least. We wear the gown at graduation.
Gown? Okay, that's cool. That's a secret hack for anyone out there. That's schools. You need to make sure you do that. But interesting though that there is pressure for the teaching staff as well to kind of represent and show.
I don't know. I probably just that's probably just my own pressure. I don't know if that's everybody else's pressure. But you don't want to be in the same picture year after year wearing the same thing. That's tacky.
Yeah. Ladies, since I assume, since we pointed it out, the guys had a much easier time. Did you tell them what they were going to wear, or was that like up to them? Did they have to match up? Okay, well, there's a story here. Caroline?
Yeah, the guy that I went with, my boyfriend, he waited until the morning of to get a suit, and it was the same suit from last year, and he didn't fit in it.
Oh.
So, and that's on him.
That's kind of stressful.
And I told
I'm not
him,
even there. That was stressful.
It was very stressful, but we managed.
Okay.
It was all good. No.
It turned out great.
How does one manage? What was the solution?
I mean, he just wore the suit
Sucked
and
it in.
He didn't complain, so that was the solution.
Okay, well, that's good. Glad you got it figured out. Let's shift focus a little bit. Talk some favorite classes, different things you guys were involved in. For College Credit Plus, I know the two of you kind of mentioned that. That's a whole different like working balance, taking those college courses on top of trying to stay connected with high school. So was that a tough balance to strike from the get-go?
I mean, yeah, we both work and then practice and then school and then the CCP.
Sure.
So it definitely is. You have to be ready to balance it all and make sure you find that like routine, because like I figured out that sometimes doing my CCP on my phone, like when I'm riding in the car and like finding convenient times where you can just fit that like assignment in, it really helps take off the load. And it's easier to take these free college classes in the long run to get that workload off, because I mean 6 years of college, you better buckle up. So as much as you can help in the beginning.
You must have much better eyes than I do. I definitely could not do college courses on my phone. Who else took CCP classes? Kaya? All right. So, again, kind of same question. Difficult balance, or did you, I mean, again, you listed off a dozen different organizations and extracurriculars you were involved in. How do you work college classes in with all of that?
Well, my secret was I didn't do any college classes off campus. I only did the ones that we offered, like, some of our teachers are certified to teach college courses.
That is really cool.
So you get to meet every day. So there's a lot of days where you don't actually do much at all, because if it was a college class, you'd only be meeting like once a week.
Yeah. Was it important to you to stay, at the high school and kind of stay connected for your senior year?
Oh yeah, especially because like I have so much stuff going on, and usually like it's right after school. It wasn't really worth me leaving. All of my siblings are still there too, and I don't drive yet, so it wasn't worth the effort.
Now, I have to ask, is that a choice that you don't drive?
I was waiting until I turned 18, so that I wouldn't have to like pay for driving school.
No. It's expensive.
I understand that. It is expensive. Okay, well, that's good. That's, again, interesting insight for you. So talk a little about favorite classes, favorite teachers. We'll start down on the end, Riley.
I'm sure they're all going to mention me first.
I
So
would
you
hope.
go ahead and get that one out of the way.
Right.
Miss Flowers.
Miss Flowers.
Perfect. Good start, Riley.
Smiles in the hallways. My favorite teacher was probably Mr. Doctor for my calculus class this year. I've had him. I had him in 8th grade, and I had him. I had geometry 9th, so I didn't have him. But 10th, 11th, and this year I had him.
Okay. So what about math specifically? Like, to me, again, no offense, I know you already said you hope to do something with math, but that is awful. Just not my thing. What about math made sense to you?
I'm just good at it. I don't know why. My grandpa's good at it. I'm good at it, so I just
I
I'll put it to use.
don't think math works that way. I don't know that it's genetic necessarily. Okay.
Well, he helped me learn how to do some of it, and then I just found it like really easy to do once I understood it.
Okay. It was Mr. Doctor?
Yes, Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor, what about him specifically helped, with understanding math?
The way he taught everything made it a lot easier to understand, and we just did one assignment each day, and the way he set it up made it a lot easier to understand and ask questions, and you have time in class to do everything.
Okay. Kaya, what about for you? Favorite teachers, favorite classes? Anything stand out?
I'd still have to go with Doc's calc class.
Yeah. So calculus, for someone, again, I'm terrible at math. I did not go anywhere near calculus. How did you understand that? And how, I guess, again, how did Mr. Doctor help you understand that?
I think the thing about math is if there's ever a part where you're not understanding, if you don't catch up on it and deal with it right then you're going to be behind for the rest of the year or the rest of the entire
the unit.
Yes. But with Doc, it was always really easy and simple. He was very straightforward answering questions. I liked his teaching style. I thought it worked really well.
Yeah.
Like Riley said, being able to work in class. I am very, very bad about taking things home. If I take it home, it sits in my bag and I don't do it because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. So get it done at school. Homework's not your thing. Get it done. I got you. All right. Lily, what about for you? Favorite teachers, favorite classes? Anything stand out?
Of course, Miss Flowers, but
Very good.
I drove, so they're feeling the pressure.
I think we have a good group of staff at Fayetteville. We have loving teachers and a very good group. But I mean, I'd agree with Mr. Doctor, of course. And but one of my favorite teachers is definitely Mr. Laura, our Spanish teacher, because he was my soccer coach for 3 out of the 4 years, and he was also my goalie trainer.
Oh, wow.
So we had a closer...
You spent a lot of time.
Yeah, we knew each other well, and so seeing him in class was always fun because we could talk about our soccer stuff along with the Spanish.
Okay. That's an interesting dynamic. So having a coach that you're already spending, again, hours upon hours with, was it more like he was a teacher while he was a coach, or he was a coach while he was a teacher?
No, he was more probably a coach while he was a teacher, because when he is coaching us, he's in his coaching mindset, he's in his coaching style, and then when he's teaching, he's still got a little bit of that coaching style.
Never screamed at you in the middle of of a Spanish
no.
That'd be interesting.
But he still has that that technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident? How many years of Spanish did you take?
I took 3.
3 years. So do you feel confident if you were dropped in a Spanish-speaking country? No? Okay. Well, we won't tell Coach.
I'm not fluent yet.
Okay. Yet.
We got the
Good.
basic
So you're still
conversations
working
We
on it.
got the basic.
All right.
We can understand
We
a little
can
bit.
we can hola,
You
como
come up
with it.
estás? But
Okay. I'm
Stay in
well.
there.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's about all I
Muy
got.
bien.
Mine is
bien.
way further back than yours, though. So I think you keep brushing up on that. Caroline, what about for you? Favorite teachers, favorite classes?
Calculus with Doc.
Man.
He's a great teacher. He just made it easy. There was actually only 4 of us, and that was 3 plus Isaac. So
Okay.
yeah,
Isaac, you guys left him behind. You didn't invite him along.
yeah. And then also Miss St. Clair, my band teacher.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. Sure. Yeah, those are my 2 top teachers of high school, I would say.
Yeah. Talk again. We didn't really highlight a whole lot, but band does take up a lot of time, especially during marching band season. So, how do you kind of balance that out and work doing all of that along with keeping up with schoolwork?
Well, Miss Sinclair understands, especially with how small our school is, that people are in sports outside, just like after school hours.
Sure.
So every time we practice during school, during the band class. So we would go out to the field, we go to the gym, practice whatever we need, because she knows that after school hours probably wouldn't work for like anyone, because believe it or not, I know band's stereotyped to be like band kids and then sports, but it's really combined with band.
Well, I mean, in a graduating class of 43 people, you kind of have to do some crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Again, congratulations to you guys. Well, let's run back through everybody, talk about those next phase of life. What's coming up next? So, again, we'll start down on the end with Riley and work our way back. Where are you planning on doing post high school now that you've graduated and the world is free and open to you?
I'm committed to Wilmington College. I'm going to be playing basketball for them for the next 4 years. I'm probably going to study something within the math field, obviously, but I'm not quite sure what specifically yet.
Again, not obvious. Not everybody loves math, right? It's I'm glad you do, though. So within math, you just kind of world wide open and maybe be a math teacher. Is that a possibility?
Maybe, but unlikely.
Unlikely. Okay. So just sticking with numbers.
Yep.
Good deal. Lily, let's talk about what's next for you.
I'm going to the University of Cincinnati to get my master's degree in psychology.
Fantastic. So what drew you in for psychology? What interests you in that?
Well, I've had some of my own personal battles, so kind of growing from there and learning from that, it really, like, seeing both sides, it flipped my mindset. Experiences always makes you better within anything, so I'm excited to help others. It's really just helping people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Caroline, what's next for you?
I plan on going to Western Kentucky University for meteorology.
Meteorology, okay. So you love this rain that we're getting, and you can probably tell us exactly why we've gotten so much rain.
Yeah.
Don't get her started.
Let's start. Let's hear it, Caroline. What's up with the weather right now? This is your chance. This is your big debut. You're on camera and everything. This is
well, rain clouds. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, guys. We've had a lot of rain recently. That's just spring weather.
Yeah.
You know, with the weather changing, it getting warmer, that obviously produces more rain. It's pretty simple when it comes to like rain, why rain happens. A lot of people know, but I'm actually more interested in severe weather, like tornadoes.
You're wanting to be a storm chaser.
Yes, that's exactly.
You are a crazy person.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got people liking math and people liking tornadoes. This is a mixed up class here. Kaya, we kind of talked a little about your future plans, but in the immediacy, where do you plan on going? What do you plan on doing?
I'm going to Miami University for political science.
Is that Miami of Ohio, or are you going
Miami
down south?
Ohio.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, Oxford.
I was dreaming of beaches for you there for a second. Miami of Ohio does not have any beaches. So.
Nope, unfortunately.
And going into pre-law?
Political science. They don't have a pre-law program offered there, or like they have a pre-law program, but you can't get it as a degree. Okay. It's just a program that you do there. But I got accepted into their like humanities and social sciences scholar program, which is kind of, it's not really an honors program, but it's kind of like that, and they'll like help me make a lot of connections. Like we'll be visiting law firms and like doing a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, best of luck, ladies, with all of that. Big things, big plans for the future, from math to tornadoes. So last but not least, April, want to just, again, you kind of alluded to this being, first year as principal, first year kind of in charge. Talk about what a special class this has been for you to have your first time out.
Yeah, so I have such an emotional connection to this class because not only were they small, so I was able to learn them pretty easily and get to know some of their personalities. So that's been really fun. But also as a mom, my own son is a senior this year. So I was definitely on all of the emotional ride with them because just having, all of their last things, I knew that as a mom, I was feeling all of that stuff for them as well, just because I was going through that. This class is small, but throughout all of our organizations, whether that's sports, all of the academic extracurriculars, FFA, FCCLA, they have peppered themselves into those leadership roles. Even though they are such a small class, they carry so much weight in our building. So we're definitely going to miss this class for sure.
Yeah, man. And that does add a whole extra layer to it, to have literally seen these kids,
yes.
I'm sure, grow right up alongside your own kids. So Man, well, thank you for sharing that. That was really sweet. With that, guys, we're going to wrap up our show for today. Again, here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. Big thank you to Fayetteville High School coming in and talking with us. And again, if you've missed out on any of our past shows, those are available to watch on demand for free on goodguysradiotv.com and the Good Guys YouTube and Facebook page. Again, thanks for joining us here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Thank you for tuning in. Rewatch this video and many more on demand at goodguysradiotv.com.